Hey, quick note. This video was originally recorded in January, but took a while to edit it. I got a little bit busy with Star Trek reviews and other things. But our picks for top 5 pretty much haven't come out yet, so the video's still good. And in the intervening month or so, trailers have come out, so we actually have more footage from the movies that were on our list in this video. All right, enjoy. Hey nerds, today we're talking about our most anticipated movies of 2026. This year is absolutely stacked. We've got Spielberg back with Aliens, Nolan tackling Homer, DC going dark with Supergirl, Spider-Man getting a fresh start, and so much more. We're running down our list, starting right now. Welcome back to the Nerd Social. I'm Nathan.
I'm Jhon.
And I'm Colin.
As always, if you want to jump ahead of our intro to our lists, there are chapter links below. So, how are you guys feeling about this year's lineup?
Honestly, this might be the best year for movies in a while. Between DC finally doing something different with Supergirl, Nolan doing the Odyssey in IMAX, of course, and Denis Villeneuve finishing his Dune trilogy, I had a hard time narrowing it down.
Same here. And with Spider-Man coming back, Mandalorian hitting theaters, Dune wrapping up, it's a lot of sequels and adaptations, but they all look really promising.
All right, great. Quick reminder for everyone watching us, if a movie appears higher on someone's list, we're going to wait until it's at its highest rank to discuss. That keeps us from repeating ourselves over and over again, also making this video way too long. All right, let's dive in with our honorable mentions. So I'll kick things off with my list. These are the movies that just was marked for me. I'm going to start with Avengers Doomsday. This is just a note because it's obviously our most anticipated movie. We're going to have a separate video to talk about that, but I'm a little, they had to win me over. That's why it was not on my list. It's on an honorable mention. I'm curious, but we'll see how things actually shake out if it isn't a desperate ploy, because that's why it didn't make my list. But we'll talk about that more in a separate video. Then I have They Will Kill You. This is a movie starring Zazie Beetz. It's basically Ready or Not, which is my next movie. But Zazie Beetz is in a haunted hotel and people are trying to kill her, but she seems to actually have fighting skills. I'm really curious to see what that's all about. And then, like I said, Ready or Not 2 is coming out, the sequel to Ready or Not. That movie was really great. Project Hail Mary with Ryan Gosling seems interesting. Mandalorian and Grogu, which we mentioned, is coming out in theaters. Only reason that doesn't make my list is because Star Wars stuff has been hit and miss over the last couple of years, but I am willing to be pleasantly surprised. The Magician's Nephew, which is a Narnia adaptation. I'm not really keen on Narnia stuff, but it's going to be done by Greta Gerwig, so that's why I'm interested in it. Maggie Gyllenhaal is doing Bride of Frankenstein, which should be coming out, I think, next month or the month after. That I saw the trailer for that is pretty interesting. Death of a Salesman. I know the play is great, but what's most interesting to me about this one is that it's Jeffrey Wright and Octavia Spencer in it. And then Dog Stars. I'm not a big Ridley Scott fan. At least my Ridley Scott appreciation is hit or miss. He definitely knows how to make things blow up, but the Transformer movies fell off a cliff for me. But this is supposed to be a post-apocalyptic science fiction film, so I'm at least interested in it. That's why it's on my honorable list.
That's a long list. I think for me, honorable mentions go to Wuthering Heights. That's the Emerald Fennell one with Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi. You, Me, and Tuscany is a romantic comedy. Halle Bailey and Jhon Page from Bridgerton fame. Michael, which is the Michael Jackson biopic, I think his nephew's portraying Michael Jackson. Supergirl's on my list. The Moana live action is pretty promising. We'll see, because they just did Moana 2, I think 2 years ago now. I will see how the live action works. Masters of the Universe, I know that Netflix has done a couple of adaptations animated wise, but I think this is a live action version of it. Nathan, I know you just mentioned Project Hail Mary. I saw it, the trailer of it in theaters. It does look pretty promising. Reminds me a little bit of Gravity, that movie with Sandra Bullock and George Clooney. The Adventures of Cliff Booth, which is the Tarantino spinoff to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I found that to be a very strong Tarantino movie. We'll see what the sequel has to hold. The Social Reckoning, which is the sequel to The Social Network, again, sounds promising. Practical Magic 2 is another sequel, and then an original Madden, which is the biopic about the longtime coach John Madden and the famous Madden video games that you have seen over the years. So that's my list of honorable mentions.
My list is a much shorter list. I also have Project Hail Mary. I've got the audiobook for it, and I'm debating whether I should listen to it first before watching the movie. We'll see. Toy Story 5. I love the Toy Story movies, so looking forward to number 5. And if it's any indication of the previous 4, it 5 should be just as good. The Devil Wears Prada 2, looking forward to that. And I also have Avengers Doomsday on my list. So a lot of stuff I'm excited about, what makes up my top 5.
Yeah. Practical Magic. What was that movie about?
That was with Nicole Kidman and Sandra Bullock.
Ah, okay.
And
I
it
thought
was
so.
like
Sandra
Wingwood
Bullock.
Town. They
Yeah,
were
yeah,
witches.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
witches. Yeah.
Interesting. So they're both coming back for that?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we all had a Hail Mary on our honorable mention. So yeah, the Ryan Gosling thing, it looks interesting. Even the alien design in that movie is interesting. It's like the same creative team as Into the Spider-Verse. The creative team is adapting Andy Weir's book. You said you have it on an audiobook, Jhon?
Yeah. Got the audiobook, and I've had it for a while and just haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. But now that I see there's a movie coming out with it, so we'll see if I have to listen to that first or maybe later.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into the actual countdown. If you enjoyed the video so far, please like and share. It really helps the channel out. And with that, starting at number 5 for me is Werewolf. This is Roger Eggers' adaptation or vision of the werewolf. He's doing a 13th century werewolf movie similar to the Nosferatu movie that he did last year. It was a good movie. He's bringing back all the cast from that movie, reuniting Lily Rose Depp, Aaron Taylor Johnson, and Willem Dafoe. Eggers said it's the darkest thing he's ever written, which should be interesting given his previous work. And considering The Witch and The Lighthouse, that's of course saying something. Plus, it's shot on film with period accurate Old English dialogue. So that's my number 5.
So my number 5 is Super Mario Galaxy. So I've been actually playing the video game, the first video game. I'm almost done with the stars. I think I'm at like 116. So I know that some people weren't completely sold on the first Mario movie, but I loved it. Now they're adapting what many consider the best Mario game ever, which to me, it's an extension of the Mario 64 on the N64. This game originally, I think, was on the Wii way back in the day. I think it came out in 07. With that casting coming back, I think with Chris Pratt was in it, Anya Taylor-Joy was in it as Princess Toadstool, Jack Black famously as Bowser, great cast, and Illumination is coming back to do the animation. So they clearly put the work into making it look really like a 3D model of Mario and Luigi and all the other characters, Donkey Kong. I'm excited. I think that it's something that Nintendo hadn't really focused on before, but they're really leading into the animated movie space. So that's my number 5.
My number 5 is The Mandalorian and Grogu, and since it's higher on Colin's list, I will wait.
All right, I'm gonna have to wait as well because my number 4, we're on number 4 now, is Spider-Man Brand New Day, but higher on both of your lists.
So my number 4 is The Devil Wears Prada 2. I know it's on John's honorable mention. Meryl Streep and Emily Blunt are back along with Anne Hathaway. Apparently the story deals with the decline of print media and the rise of the influencer culture. So I'm curious to see how they handle Miranda Priestley in the modern era. You'll definitely see a lot of good fashion in this one. And yeah, I really love, it's one of my all-time favorite movies. The first one was, and definitely the whole style, New York City, Paris as well was featured in the original. So I loved it. So yeah, I have high expectations.
Yeah, I also enjoyed the first movie as well, so looking forward to that. My number 4 is The Odyssey, but it's higher on Nathan's list, so we'll discuss it a little later.
All right, so my number 3, we got a lot of picks that are higher on people's lists. So my number 3 is actually Supergirl, but it's much higher on John's list. So I'm gonna hold off to talk about it when Jhon talks about it.
So my number 3 is The Mandalorian and Grogu. I know that it was an honorable mention on Nathan's list. First Star Wars movies in theaters since The Rise of Skywalker, which wasn't that good, even though it made $1 billion. And honestly, the Mandalorian series is the best thing Star Wars has done in years, except for season 3. Season 1 and 2 was pretty good. So Pedro Pascal returns. Jon Favreau is directing this. Sigourney Weaver is in this movie, and also it's the first Star Wars film shot entirely in California. So I'm cautiously optimistic because they did all that, the back screen for the Mandalorian TV series. So I wonder how those practical effects that they try to borrow from Andor is going to work or not in this movie.
Yeah, since Colin just brought it up, I got it at number 5. I agree that The Mandalorian could also revive my interest in Star Wars, and of course, Andor just kicking butt all around. My concern is whether this theatrical movie can capture what made the show so special, but Grogu on the big screen, that's going to be quite the event. performance. Ought to be fun. It looks fun, so looking forward to that.
So yeah, it was on my honorable mention. I think I mentioned this earlier. I didn't know it was Favreau directing. Part of my pause was that Dave Filoni, I thought it was Dave Filoni directing. He's really great at the Star Wars lore, but he's not as great as a director yet. So that makes me feel a little bit better about it. So yeah, but still, we'll see how a TV characters translate onto the big screen. So my number 2 is the Odyssey, Christopher Nolan's adapting Homer with Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway, Tom Holland, Zendaya, Robert Pattinson, Charlize Theron. This cast is insane. It's the first movie ever shot entirely in IMAX 70mm. Nolan's been wanting to make this for decades. He was originally attached to direct Troy back in the day before Batman happened. Ludwig Göransson is scoring as well. So I can't wait to see the Cyclops and the Sirens and Cersei and all in that format. Yeah, that's why it's pretty high on my list. That's why I'm excited about it. I know, Jhon, it was a little bit lower on your list, so why did it make your list?
Sure, I had number 4 on my list. Come on, it's a Nolan movie, and the Odyssey, Homer's Odyssey, is being depicted by Nolan himself, so just looking forward to what his take would be and what he could do. He's always made movies of different genres that he'd like to hit just to mix things up, so this is definitely an area a genre that would be a first for him. Looking forward to what he does with it, along with the cast of great actors that he loves to work with. They're all coming back in this movie as well. And of course, always on IMAX, looks great on IMAX. He loves filming in IMAX. Odyssey is definitely on my list.
So my number 2 is Spider-Man Brand New Day. Destin Daniel Cretton is directing Spider-Man Brand New Day. It's basically a continuation of the Home trilogy. So you have Tom Holland returning, you have Jacob Batalon, you have Zendaya. You have some new characters like Sadie Sink is rumored to be, it's confirmed to be in it, but we don't know who she portrays. Mark Ruffalo confirmed as well. So there's a lot of secretive stuff as to how it all plays out, but I'm looking forward to Destin Daniel Cretton's direction on this because he did do Shang-Chi, which was pretty good overall, I would say, as a Marvel movie, one of the more recent Marvel movies.
Tom Holland said he wouldn't come back unless they had a great story worth telling for Spider-Man, and from everything I've heard, they're treating this as a fresh start, more ground level. So if you recall from how things ended in No Way Home, he's back to more of a ground level Spider-Man rather than a world beater. The new suit looks great, and we'll see if he gets another suit that changes from what we last saw. Having Scorpion back feels right for where Peter is now with all, as Colin mentioned, Sadie Sink from Stranger Things is also in this movie, and I always enjoy her performances too.
So it definitely made my list just a little bit lower. I think it's number 4. Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do. The most recent Destin Daniel Cretton thing that I saw was actually Wonder Man, because I got screeners for it last week. So I'm interested to see what he does, especially given that this is going to be a more grounded, maybe a little closer to the street story. He has the ability to do something more intimate than he did with Shang-Chi, but he also was able to work on the big scale as he did with Shang-Chi. Hopefully we don't have any third act issues like we did with that movie, because I think that movie was near perfect on CGI stuff at the end, and Spider-Man doesn't have that many giant CGI things in his universe. Maybe it'll be a little bit better than the end of that movie. All right, so we are at number 1 already. My number 1 pick is Disclosure Day. Steven Spielberg is returning to UFO movies. The guy who made Close Encounters and E.T. with Emily Blunt and Josh O'Connell is written by David Cope. The teaser is very unsettling. Blunt's meteorologist starts speaking in alien language on live TV, and then the film seems to be about what happens when proof of alien life becomes undeniable. Spielberg said he's always believed we're not alone, and this feels like his definitive statement on the subject. John Williams is scoring it. This is the movie I'm most excited about this year.
The trailer still came out more like a teaser to me, but indeed it got the creepy factor going for it. I'm looking forward to that as well. Steve, again, just like I am about Nolan movies, this is a Spielberg movie, so let's see. Look forward to that too.
I'm curious, but I'll wait for it. It doesn't look like a typical Spielberg blockbuster, but heard some things about it, and yeah, I definitely feel as though it might come up further on my list at the end of the year.
And my number 1 is Supergirl, and since Nathan has it at 3, let's discuss.
All right, Go for it. You start.
All right, so Millie Alcock, she is Supergirl. She was incredible as the young Rhaenyra in House of the Dragon TV series on HBO. And James Gunn specifically chose her to play a very different Supergirl than we've ever seen. This isn't the cheerful CW version played by Melissa Benoist. This is the traumatized survivor who watched everyone on Krypton die. The source graphic novel Woman of Tomorrow is phenomenal. It's basically True Grit in space. Craig Gillespie is directing. Jason Momoa is in it as Lobo. So he's playing a new character in the DC world. And apparently it's all set in outer space. So DC's finally doing something bold, something different.
Yeah, the reason it made my list is because I really enjoyed Superman. I know it didn't make my best of movies from last year because I had some things a little bit higher, but it was probably my favorite. If I did a list of favorite superhero movies, I was split at the time between that and Fantastic Four. But at this point, months later, it was definitely my favorite movie of that year, favorite superhero movie. So I'm looking forward to see what else we get out of Gunn's universe, his new universe. And Millie Alcock, as you said, was really great. Came House of the Dragon, and Jason Momoa. He's a much better fit for Lobo than he's basically playing himself. Basically playing himself.
Yeah, I've had it as an honorable mention. I'm just on a wait and see mode in terms of how the whole DCU comes together. But the trailer does look promising, and I did enjoy Superman last year. But you gotta see the whole picture. I'm like a wait and see mode on a lot of the DC Studio stuff. My number one is Dune Messiah. I think that Jhon had it at number 3. So let's discuss. So Denis is completing his trilogy. I think it's a Dune Messiah itself is a very challenging book. It's slower, more political. Paul becomes a tragic figure, but if anyone can adapt it, is Villeneuve. Robert Pattinson plays Skytail. Jason Momoa is back as Duncan Idaho, and then you have Timothée Chalamet's kids are played actually by Jason Momoa's offspring. So it's a poetic type of casting, and this is Villeneuve's finale. So he said that he's done after this movie with the Dune series.
Yeah, I've enjoyed the first 2 Dune movies already, and they got to finish it off. I got to see it to make it complete, since I have to see Dune Messiah. And again, the first 2 movies were fantastic. Great acting, great cast. I've only read the first book, so I know that this version or this part is going to be the weirdest one. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, so this probably would have been the first on my list. I think you guys are really optimistic about it coming out this year. It has the same release date as Doomsday. I doubt that Doomsday is moving, seeing as how they have a countdown clock.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if I really thought it was coming out this year, it definitely would be on my list. They haven't canceled it yet, but I don't think it's coming out this year. But it'd be definitely number 1 on my list. So I haven't read the last book, but in the early 2000s, Sci-Fi Network did a whole series on Dune, and I actually own the box set. So I know the story, and it's super weird. So I'm really interested to see what Denis does with his adaptation. There are all kinds of like mutations and all kinds of wild stuff that shows up in that book, and superpowers even beyond what we saw in the last installments. So when it comes out, it will be definitely top of my list. All right, so let me summarize. My top pick was Disclosure Day, Jhn's was Supergirl, and Colin's was Dune Part 3 or Dune Messiah. And all 3 of us had Spider-Man Brand New Day in our top 5. So that seems to watch this summer.
Yeah, 2026 is looking stacked between original films like Disclosure Day and Werewolf, franchising Dune and Spider-Man, and wildcards like the Odyssey. There's something for everyone.
Yeah, and like Nathan mentioned, we didn't even mention about Avengers Doomsday. Probably supposed to be my number 1, but I did not include it on the list because that would be too obvious for me. And so I wanted to make sure that I spread it out a little bit and to try to increase the drama instead of just having it be the obvious answer.
Yeah, so that's our list of our most anticipated movies of 2026. So what did you think? Did our picks make your list? Did we miss anything big? Let us know in the comments below.
And if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more movie discussions.
All right, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Take care now. Bye-bye.
All right, guys.